just for me. Probably what I'm doing. Every day in the studio. Every day in the studio. Every day no fully shit. In the streets with the Yeezys on. In the streets with the hoodie up. In the streets.
Play
No.
games. What does that smell?
Like something new.
Oh, I know. Y'all, I think we got the intro in now. I don't know. I'm being future oriented. Hopefully he finished it by then. But it is the Play No Games podcast, and we got some new season 3 stuff.
Like a fresh pair of shoes.
Ooh,
out the box.
Ooh, my co-host is helping me out. We're about to get out of this world. We got Mr. Plutoheights on
Yes, sir.
Instagram. That's what he goes by. What else? We went to the same school, right? U of O alum.
Okay.
And then we got, I've been practicing this all week. We got one of the great minds of, snaps.
I hope that camera picked that up.
I hope that camera picked it up. He did some moves on that pole.
We got one of the great minds of produce. And we got him for an exclusive interview.
After hours.
Hey, the shop is closed. Hey, ooh. Anywho, so a good friend Jordan on the pod today. So, wait a second, I gotta add this. You know, we must really care about this interview because we got notes. We was stalking you. And asking questions because we care. Because we care. So, let's just start off for people who listen to the show and may not know whoever lives under the rock and doesn't know you are down here. Who is Jordan?
That's a interesting question. Jordan is an entrepreneur, a fashion designer, someone who helped create produce alongside a collective of other creators. He's passionate. He's very motivated, and above all, he's a creative.
All right. We got a creator in here because we all know so well. We have another creator over here, right?
I guess. Sure. Why not?
Come on. Don't do that, Cas. Fantastic. So, just curious. Tell us a little bit more about the creation of produce. How did that come along?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. That came about through, like I said, a collective of creators kind of coming together. I personally have pursuing the same dream since I graduated from U of O. Yes. Once I graduated, I worked at Daimler for a little bit and found out that the corporate life wasn't for me, and decided to kind of pursue my own passion and create an opportunity that I felt wasn't present in Portland. With that, along the way, I met a lot of people, Wyatt, Reese, Dante, Boca, DeAndre, the other DeAndre, Marcus.
Okay.
There's over 15 of us collectively.
Yeah.
A few of us are actually in charge of the store, and then we also have a record label, but it was a collective of minds that kind of came together, saw the missing opportunity, and all had the same vision in mind. Not necessarily the same name, but it was more so we all wanted to provide something for Portland that was missing, and so we all put our minds together and then created produce.
All right. Well,
very cool.
I know, well, for me at least, this is not my very first rodeo when it comes to, being creative and doing things. And I'm just curious, are you one-time wonder where you're like, you woke up and you were just blessed with this, like, you know what, we need streetwear downtown? Or have you done any other businesses whatsoever at all?
Yes to both those questions. The entire time, the vision has always been to create a platform. Necessarily, the name wasn't there, produce, whatever the case may be. At one point, I helped Two Core Entertainment, which was a record label, and then had my own brand chief. And then after that, it was Bootleg Reality Operations, which was the record label, which came from Bro Pluto, which was the clothing line, and now it's Produce, Plutoheights. So the vision, to a certain degree, has always been the same in the sense of creating that opportunity for Portland. But along the way, I have took on different endeavors. For example, I had a print shop for a little bit, and that print shop is now actually Portland Inc., which is a pretty big print shop in Portland. I had a food company. The other record labels I owned, the other clothing brands I owned. I've helped another print shop, I won't name them, but I've helped a lot of other entrepreneurs along the way, which also help add it to the experience that I'm able to provide now, because I've learned the ins and outs of every, I guess, department when it comes to fashion, whether it's screen printing, design, the business side of things, because for Animal, that's the name of the food company, I was the chief operation officer, and so I was in charge of operations, which gave me the operations background to run produce, along with also was the buyer and in-house creative at Compound Gallery, and so that too added to the experience. So I've had other jobs and positions, which all collectively added to now what produce is.
All right, very cool. Kind of leading to a question I had going into this, because I also went to school for business at Portland State, and I took the athletic and outdoor certificate, which means we had a lot of people come in from the sports industry, like Nike, Adidas, as well as we had some streetwear people from, Ama Manier come in and talk to us. And they brought up an interesting topic during that class where they were talking about streetwear, and then Virgil kind of saying that streetwear is dying. I think that was late last year, early this year, and I kind of want to get your opinion of where streetwear is at the moment.
I think streetwear is dying, and that's in the sense of clout, in terms of I'm streetwear. I think that people are going to gravitate towards the locals and the experience versus streetwear. And when I say that, it's, I want Supreme, I want Bape, I want Palace, I want V-Lone, I want the name brands in streetwear, because there's different name brands. There's designer, Louis Vuitton, and stuff like that. But in streetwear, there are name brands now. And I think in terms of being a name brand where it's just hype, where it's, this celebrity wore it, I want to buy it, I think people now are going to start gravitating towards who created it, what's his story, what's his mission, and then supporting their own communities. So I think streetwear, in terms of clout, I guess is the best word, or trends, is going to die. But I think fashion and clothing and brands are going to develop, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's kind of, each region, each city kind of has its own different look, own little
vibe,
feel.
Own different kind of community.
Definitely.
So I think people are going to support the community versus at large what's going on.
Awesome.
Well, I have to pay attention to body language as a profession, so sorry to psychoanalyze you, but if I look deeply into your eyes and your body language, this tells me that this isn't it. Like, I'm getting like spots of like your ultimate dream. Like, you seem like a guy who has a master plan, because how do I know that? Because I have a master plan, and I feel like this is like only the beginning. This is like chapter 5.
100%.
100. Like, I'm just curious, like, where do you see yourself, or like, what does this evolve into?
Produce involves, becomes vertically integrated. I mean, we learned that from day one in college. Vertical integration is the best way to form any kind of company. So eventually, this becomes a situation where, again, I don't personally put pressure on consumers to buy product. So I always try to explain that produce is about the experience you have in the store, whether it is you buy, whether it is you sell clothing to us, whether it is you trade clothing with us, whether it is you get educated from one of us, whether it is we can help create your brand. So eventually produce becomes an all-in-one shop where creatives, especially in Portland, because I think our market is, in comparison to other cities, dead. I mean, there's only a handful of streetwear stores, let alone black-owned, or minority-owned. So eventually produce becomes that place where you can come and talk to the owners. The owners work in the store. We don't have employees. We have owners here. So you
what?
talk to people who actually know what they're doing. You get educated on that sense. Eventually, I would like to start internships and different programs where we can educate you, whether it is, I want to learn how to do photography. We work with photographers who are experts in their field. I want to come in here and I want to learn how to cut hair. DeAndre is one of the best barbers I know of personally. You come in here, I want to sell my clothes. Okay, you want to talk to Wyatt or Reese about consignment, et cetera, et cetera. They teach you the market, how to make better transactions when it comes to Grail, Depop. You talk to me, I want to learn how to design. Okay, well, these are the steps you need to take. At the same time, we also help the locals. And so eventually produce literally becomes the place to go when it comes to culture. Whether it also, not to mention the record label. Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother tangent where we have producers on the record label, we have artists. So now you come to this place, and in terms of culture, art, fashion, and music, that's what I consider kind of like the culture, aesthetics. You can come and talk to us and learn different avenues and different ways to further yourself. So produce just becomes a place that's not only about conversation, but also, yes, we do provide product for the traditional customer. But those looking for more, we also provide that too. Yeah. And eventually, we would like to have our own warehouse where it's like, right now, I may be able to send you somewhere to get your product made, but eventually we want to be the people who make your product as well as sell the product. So it's just it's a one-stop destination for all creatives in Portland.
I like that because that is something that's different, and I can promise you, I can tell you as someone who is, fashion connoisseur himself, when it comes to when you go to like some of these streetwear places and stores, it's like, let's buy something, get in, get out, what you doing?
Yeah.
And and correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't seem like, monetarily you're getting something back from, let's just say I come into the store, trying to get on this photography game. Can you help me out with that? And I think that is such an underrated thing of pushing it forward and dropping a ladder down, because this takes me back to when I was in a meeting at one of my ex jobs where they were talking about, we don't mess with interns or we don't do anything like that. We only want veterans, things like that. Don't get me wrong, and by all means, not the fashion guy, I'm just the consumer, but the reason why all these don't get me wrong, in the next 10 decades, Gucci and all of them are going to be there, but places like this are going to last because they have that key element that's different. Because if our children are no, I can come down here and interview or be that hub like you're saying, that's where fashion is moving, is more community, collective shit. And that mirrors what we're trying to do here so well. And I'm just so glad we're just hearing that shit. Because my follow-up question to him was going to be tell me more of the educational piece, because we can go to any other streetwear place and we will not hear that.
Yeah. And kind of, the way I see it is that if you're talking about retail, online's always going to win, whether that's price, quantity, choices, and then even shipping is going to be one day to a couple hours in the future. So I feel retail as an experience is really what stores have to focus on. And you're seeing stuff like this, streetwear is kind of where that originated. You look at a Kith Treats, or even now you have big chains like Farfetch doing that with their smart mirrors and all this stuff. So yeah.
And I don't mean to give out industry secrets, but I've been to the Hundreds headquarters, and the Hundreds they're old. They're one of the older streetwear brands. But I personally, after learning more about them, I know they just released their book, which kind of explains their story. But after learning more about them and touring their headquarters, they help the underdogs in LA. A lot of the upcoming brands in LA, the Hundreds headquarters has a screen print shop that helps people. So again, that's just a reminder for me. When I went there, I was I never even knew this about the Hundreds. I think they should highlight that more personally. But the fact that they're helping their city, that's also why they're still relevant, because they help the city, regardless of the Hundreds could be at this point in the totem pole, and they might have put a brand on that's here, but still that brand pays homage back to who helped them get to that totem pole. So regardless of if produce becomes here, at the end of the day, my job is to help, because I think Portland has a lot of talent that is undiscovered. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, all right. So I learned something new. Hundreds. Hey, all right. We're gonna kick things into gear. We got a lot of good stuff. This is so now. So I'm gonna just speak from a consumer standpoint. We got the UFO history. One of my brothers. Melu. You know what I'm saying? And I've been down to Compound. I'm not saying I have seen you there, not seen you there, seen you here. So, yo, I'm curious. Could you speak on that situation, if possible?
Yeah, I don't mind at all. Above all, Compound has given me the experience and knowledge to have open produce, so I'm thankful for that. Period. Point blank. The situation at Compound is there's an owner like myself who hires employees to run the store. He does give you the freedom to run the store to the best of your abilities. So I ran Compound up until last November of 2019 is when I quit, but I ran it for 3 years with Colby Cox.
Okay.
So Colby was more so in charge of customer relationships, managing the sales associates, responding to the owner, the day-to-day operations. I was the buyer, the finance, and then the design kind of guy. And so I was able to implement different designs, colorways, suggest different capsules, collections, design different things, run their website, do the shop imagery, actually see how my buying and sales or purchasing versus sales correlated. So I built a spreadsheet for them where it was okay, I'm spending on average $1,500 a month on this brand, and we're making about $3,000 to $4,000 on this brand. They didn't really have that system in place before. It was more so hit a certain number, this is our budget for the month. But then I started analyzing buying to sales. Yeah. And so then we learned, okay, so this brand is, as much as we think it's doing good, just because we like it, it's actually not doing good. Oh. And so I got 3 years of experience of actually seeing what buying does, and then also learning the back end of finances, how sales work, partly managing the team. I wasn't so much in charge of managing the team, but also understanding how my designs worked. Ironically, the way I even got into Compound is because I had my own brand, Pluto Heights. Back then it was Bro Pluto, but now it's Pluto Heights. So I approached Compound because, again, the only streetwear, there's not many streetwear stores. I did my research. There were 3 stores I could even approach that would accept local brands. 2 of them were not streetwear. Compound was the only streetwear one. Went over there. Yo, I got my own brand. Would you guys accept it? Cool, yes. So they accepted my brand, and I would check in on it. And then eventually they were like, yo, you can start working in here if you want. So I started using Compound as an office space, and then it gradually transformed. Once they saw my sales and they saw my work ethic, the clients I was meeting with, the business I was bringing to the shop just off the strength of me using their store as an office, that's how I got into Compound. And then he was like, well, how would you do our brand? Well, how about you start doing this? How about you start doing that? And so while I was running Compound, I was also learning from my own personal line because, again, there was an owner above me. So I couldn't do everything I wanted, but with my brand, I could do whatever I wanted. And by the 3rd year, in December of 2018, I became the 3rd biggest brand in Compound behind Stussy and BBC.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
And so I did, I think, 3,000 that month in sales, and that's when I realized I might got a handle on how to do this. And then I told the owner I do want to open my own store, and he actually was supportive of it. So it's not really an awkward situation. If anything, he allowed me to practice running a store without spending my own money and investing my own money. So I was able to get 3 years of experience of running something like produce without actually putting my dollar into produce. Yeah. So once we started, it was just like, I get it. I know how, I understand how buying works. I understand net 30, net 60. I understand. So it's a blessing to have worked at Compound. We just disagreed on a lot of things because I did want to innovate, and I actually offered to bring a screen printer into his store and offered the same strategy. We should do vertical integration. It was just like he was stuck in his ways, so we parted ways, not on bad terms, but it was more so, I understand you want to stay in this lane. I want to be in this lane.
Yeah.
And that's a nice, beautiful bow on a story because,
Yeah.
like, I'm not a little gossipy. I don't do that gossipy shit. It's just kind of like, 1+1 = 2, and like everyone's like the baseline of people are like so negative, right? Where it's kind of like, even though it's not even like dating stuff right now, but like homeboy get dissed by a girl and then he's immediately calling her a bitch, and I'm just like, bro, you're bad. just it's okay, it happens. And like these are stories where I'm glad that actually ended on like a positive note, and there's nothing wrong with you wanted to go into lane A and he wanted to go in lane B, and like you respectfully, mutually parted ways. And it's kind of like, I don't know about for you, but I feast off of the hate.
I do too. I'm not gonna lie. That fuels me.
Oh my
God. I'm
God.
like, oh, you doubted me? Oh, I bet.
Oh.
There you go.
Anyone who's ever doubted me, I definitely made sure they never did that again.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm done.
No, keep going.
Yeah, I'm just like, you don't want to do that.
No, I feel you with that, but I feel you with that. It's just really good to hear those stories because, like, just from an outside perspective, it seems like, oh, that's just another, coin in the bank. Where like, all right, you out there with 2 Virgils, and do we want to be with Kanye? I don't know. He's crazy right now. I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. But it's like you're up there. Like, who knows? You'll move to LA. But my whole point was just bringing that up is just like I'm just really glad that it ended on a somewhat semi like agree to disagree type of shit. Yep. Because that's what the world needs more. It's okay that you have this opinion or thought or anything like that. But man, you just killed some follow-up questions. You good?
Yeah. Here, quick question. So when it comes to bringing product and brands into produce, what are characteristics you kind of look for in a brand? Because I know Compound has specific brands, kind of like the Huffs, the Herschels, the BBCs, as you mentioned. It's a lot of people kind of, it's very entry-level type of high quantity, good profits on those. So, when it comes to produce and looking at buying, what do you kind of look at?
Relationships. Again, I don't mean to talk or downplay them or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But one of the conversations and also one of the disagreements was, I'm not in it for the numbers. Mm-hmm. I'm not here, spend $3,500 on this brand. Mm-hmm. Spend $1,500 on this brand. Buy this brand. I want the relationship. I want to be able to talk to the people who design the brand. So all the brands we carry, I know the owners for the most part. Yeah. There's only 1 or 2 brands in here that we don't know, besides the resale stuff. Resale is Brape Supreme. Obviously, I don't know Nego, But when it comes,
I fucking like this.
I'm just being honest. But when it comes to retail, we don't want to carry anyone who's about the dollar sign, because at the end of the day, I personally don't believe in that. If I believed in the dollar sign, I'd be doing something else. Yeah. Like, I've sacrificed a lot, especially financially, for this. So the dollar sign is not what's important to me. Mm-hmm. It's the story. It's the person who makes it. Why'd you make it? Me meeting you and being able to talk to you as a human being. If you don't, like, with Compound, it's, I bought this, here's the terms, here's what you have to do. There's no excuses. There's no negotiation. With these brands that we carry, it's, can we get this? Can we get it in a special colorway? Can we? Yes. Can we do a collaboration? Yes. So it's about the relationship. I don't care to, like, at the end of the day, for me as a designer, because I am a designer and understand what it takes to create a brand and what goes into the cost, I don't care that you have to me, it's just a graphic printed shirt. I don't care about that. I want to know your story. I want to know why you printed the shirt. I don't care to buy $1,500 just because your shirt has a certain logo on it. I want to know who you are. And so I think that's what kind of differentiates us, because all the brands in here we can have conversations with. Like, we're doing a collaboration with Kilo, which is a brand from New York. All because we had a conversation. I know him personally. His name is Michael Stein. Mm-hmm. I know the creative director. I know the CEO. Like, me and him have conversations. We text each other. We laugh. We joke. So it's different being able to sell that in the store versus me trying to sell you on a graphic. Oh, why should I buy this? Because it's cool. Yeah. Versus, oh, this is Michael. This is why he did it. It's a different message when I'm trying to sell to consumers. Of course. Versus just saying, here, buy this because it has the box logo on it.
It's because what everyone wants.
It's what everyone wants. No, exactly. This is a good dude,
Exactly. I like that.
like, and this just shows you how my mind works. It works like a mile a minute. We're like coming in and like getting set up, like from top to bottom. Because from everyone that I've seen in here so far, it's about the experience. Just being such a consumer, I will come back to your store if you are nice to me, or you have interest. Like, why are you buying this? Well, I got a nice date. Well, let me help you get ready for that. And I think that is underestimated. And like I used to be like a slob of a dude, and then my brother put me on the fashion, so it's kind of like, so no, that model is so like, so no, so just from a person like being in here just a few times, and especially now, it's just like from top to bottom, like it's so military where like everyone believes in that. And like when you have a well-oiled machine like that, you get an aura where like, this is the shit I want to be around. It breeds and like that creativity where like your ultimate goal and your dream, it's very possible.
Thank you.
And like this model is the way of the future. But one thing I kind of want to sort of shift gears just a little bit, just a tad. I just want to get your excerpt on overall support, because people see this, and I can probably only imagine how many people were at the ribbon cutting ceremony, and you were like, "Who is that nigga? Who is that nigga?" Nah, like what? How do you deal? And like I'll probably bring this up very shortly when it comes to like more like mental health, but like just from a business standpoint, because you can't throw so many Molotovs on a bridge before you burn a bridge unless you cool. But how do you handle support, and do you always have just support? What does that mean?
I get a lot of it because I've been doing this for a while, and it's been the same vision, mission, plan, different names, kind of sort of. This is like the one that sticks, but I definitely have a lot of support. Me personally, I try to treat everyone the same. The only way you really can press my buttons is if you just kind of overstep your boundaries. But no matter who it is, I try to show support. I try to actually type out thoughtful messages back to you. That's why sometimes I may not reply, just because I know I don't want to be short. I know if I reply right now, I'm just going to send you thanks, versus I'd rather wait at least till I can really be like, thank you, I really do appreciate the fact that you reached out to us, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So it is a lot of support. Sometimes it is slightly overwhelming, but at the end of the day, without them, I wouldn't be here. So the minimum I can do is at least thank them and actually be genuine about that. But it is sometimes difficult because I have been pursuing the same thing for a while. So a lot of people do support me, which again is a blessing. I can never complain about that. It's just sometimes it does get difficult because it's just like it's a lot of people responding to and kind of replying to. But I do appreciate everybody because again, we're only a year into it. Barely. We're not even technically a year. July 20th, we're a year, but just for being a year old, we've already received a tremendous amount of support as a local store.
Take me back. I hope you've seen this music video. I know you heard the song Ballin'.
Jim Jones?
Whoa, no, we talking about Mustard and Roddy Ricch.
Oh, damn! You said take me back. I'm thinking Jim Jones and Ballin'. I'm like, we fly high. Like,
No.
Don't remember that video, buddy boy.
When I'm gonna fish a little
That's
bit more.
funny.
I'm gonna fish a little bit more. Remember the times?
This is Chinatown.
Do you remember the times when you didn't have, like, the reason why I brought that up is because like that whole music video shows were like, bro, I had a Lamborghini toy, didn't have shit. Now I'm down the freeway. This is your freeway. Like, what were the times when you didn't have stuff, or where you had like some shit and you're like, yo, support this, and then people was like, yeah, we gonna do that.
Bet.
Sure, I'll follow.
Why didn't you stop? What was in those innards?
Ooh, that's a good one. But I think a lot of it was from my family. For example, the time you're talking about is probably not pre-compound, but like right about a year into working at compound. So when I graduated, at whatever age I was, 21. You graduate when you're 21?
Yeah.
22.
We
22, something
yeah.
like that. So,
we graduated at the same time. Yeah.
yeah, something like
It's
that.
it's okay.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, from 21, 22 to 25, I think is when I quit Compound, or 26. Anyway, that period of time was probably that moment for me, and what kept me going was definitely my family. One, my grandmother. She actually invested into me. They don't give money to anyone. There's no one gets money from my grandparents. They passed away, like rest in peace. But they don't give money to anyone, and so it was like a big stipulation in my family. It wasn't a lot of money. They gave me $5,000, but the fact that they gave me money, like even my aunts were like, "Grandpa and Grandma gave you money," so that kind of kept me going because they passed away before seeing any of this. And I was when they passed away, I actually was almost on the verge of homelessness because I invested every dollar, energy, time, everything was invested in this vision I had that they supported. And my mom even bribed me to move back home. She told me she would pay me to move back home. And I was like, you don't got to pay me. I'll move back home. Because I was on the verge of homelessness. And they had just given me money, and then they passed away. And so that moment was just hard for me because soon after that, things started to change. And so it's always been a driving force that they never got to see Produce Portland. You know what I mean? They never got to see this store. So that's always kind of been in the back of my mind. Like, they never got to see this, so there's no way I can quit because they were the first people to invest in me, like, in a discussion. You know what I mean? So without them, I wouldn't even have started any of my dreams. But they invested in me. They didn't get to see it. And so there's no way that I can quit at this point.
Damn. Thanks for sharing. Damn.
Yeah, it's
Thanks
a great
for sharing
story,
that,
actually.
man. Well, I feel horrible
No, you're good.
because
That was deep. I know. I just told you the truth. That's all.
because we got to change the subject. So we were like, whoa,
Yeah,
this
anyway.
happened with Bella too. I was like, ooh, gotta ask you about this. This is gonna hurt.
I'm definitely okay with it now. It's just that's why when people, why do you keep going? It's like, because I mean, too many people believed in me, and some of those people didn't get to see this point and get to see he was serious. Because I approached him, and I told him I'm serious, and I still am. Obviously, I still am. And so it's just like always at the back of my mind, like they were the first people to believe in me without seeing this.
Yeah.
So anyone else who comes along, I don't care what you got to say. Hell
yeah,
you know what
hell
I mean?
yeah.
I don't care if you believe in me or not. I already know who did and who missed it. So anyone else, thank you for the added, oomph. But I'm there. I'm going to be there. I'm not about to quit. So
There you go.
All
I
right.
think good way to kind of wrap up this
I know.
part.
Yeah.
I just like kind of where do you see Produce in 5 years? Is your goal to like franchise this and like keep growing it, or grow the like single store?
if not franchise it, if we were to open a second location, I personally want to open up in Tokyo. It's not going to be in 5 years. It's not going to be in 5 years.
Let me come, yo.
And Harajuku, right?
Yeah, no,
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wait, what did you say?
And Harajuku.
Oh, yeah, I already know about you. Wait, you speak Japanese?
I don't speak Japanese.
That's just a
He
part
said
of
you speak
Tokyo.
I was about to say, Jay.
No, I actually have a guy who he flies here twice to 2 to 3 times a year, but obviously because of COVID he can't come. But usually he comes around July, and then he comes in around April, May, and then he comes again around August, September. But he brings a tour of people he owns. His family owns is it a grape or a rice farm? I think they own a rice farm. And then his uncle just gifted him an entire cafe / shop, and he's building. It's basically gonna be like dead stock, but they're gonna have a basketball court outside and stuff.
Okay.
So it's a sneaker influenced coffee shop, and he already told me like I can be part of that project and have produce inside the shop easily. He's been I'm not gonna say fan. He's been a customer of mine for the last 3 years, and every year he comes, he takes a picture with me every time he comes to Portland. And then he brings like 20 to 30 of the people because he does Japanese tours.
Okay.
So he brings all his clientele into whatever store I'm in. He met me at Compound, found out it was my brand, Bro Pluto. And then once I opened Produce, now he comes to Produce. So
There you go. Yeah, if you can make it in Japan with streetwear, you can make it
It's a done
anywhere.
deal.
It's a
So
done deal.
if I can, 5 years from now, that would be tight. But if not, the goal is to turn this into an operation where we can produce for people. That's why the name is Produce, but we can help create people's brands, visions, and then also with the music label, hopefully they blow up, and then it's literally a one-stop shop for creatives. You come in here, figure out what you need, and we get you there.
So
Definitely.
quick side note, you're not stopping me. So he's a nerd, I'm a nerd. Yo,
You're a nerd.
wait.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a nerd. Yeah.
Oh, great. Really quick, top 3 favorite animes.
Naruto, Bleach.
Bleach.
But don't ever disrespect Bleach.
Ichigo is trash.
Are you serious?
Yo, did you read all of it?
Bro. Listen. Bleach is tight up until they turn into fairies.
Thank you. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Once they turn into fairies,
Yeah.
it's a done. Like,
all right, we cool.
You
Okay.
know what's
Yeah,
up.
all right, we.
Bankai, you know, when he went Bankai, you was like,
Hey man, I ain't
yeah,
trying
that's
to say
the
I
best
gotta-
moment. It gave you chills in the spine. I know, because he was like,
Okay. As long
exactly.
as
Don't play with me, boy.
As long as you know, Bleach got trash.
after the fairy shit.
All right.
The fairy, that was trash. That was the trashy shit. I stopped watching it. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm cussing a lot.
So
That's okay. And third one?
Third one.
Oh, third. That's a toss up between 7 Deadly Sins.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't play with me.
Ooh. No, we talking about here. We ain't playing no games.
Ooh, that is a tough one. Third.
Yeah.
Naruto and Bleach is top.
All right. Well, hey, it's tragic.
You can have 7 Deadly Sins. For
All
two.
right.
I don't really care about
I give you that 7 Deadly Sins.
One Punch Man is kind of cool, but
Yo, read the manga. It is when they animate that shit. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
ridiculous.
Inuyasha is pretty too cool too, though.
Anyway, let's
That's a
Sims.
throwback.
Anywho, don't get me wrong. No. I got some Inuyasha in the car. Don't be front. I've been practicing my Japanese. Anywho, now we enter into my territory where I live the Robert Dragon. So, relationships, dating, therapy. Yo, we don't talk about this enough. Even though, Cas, we're going to talk about black mental health. Do not be afraid.
Wait, direct that at me.
Camera's on. It's like
I don't want you to be afraid, but let's ease into mental health. When I say mental health, as a black man, what does that mean to you?
that is a long answer, but in short form, I would say stability.
Do you believe that, or actually, what do you think about the stigma when it comes to the black populace having this eerie feeling about like, oh, I'm gonna go see a therapist, and then they're like, oh, you're crazy.
No, I don't think that's crazy. I think not out of all the races, but I think African Americans deal with a lot of mental health issues that they don't talk about because of the stereotypes and stigma that is seen on TV. We're portrayed to be these tough, quote unquote, thugs, rappers, entertainers, whatever, big shots. And a lot of people deal with a lot, in my personal opinion. They just are not as okay with talking about it.
When it comes to like, how can I put this? When it comes to like the brand, now already from running my own small business and things like that, the amount of stress and anxiety that I give myself on a regular basis, from a person who's farther down the rabbit hole, what do you do to, for self-care? What do you do to, handle anxiety and or depression or anything like that when it comes to you personally yourself and then molding your brand? Because those are all different entities that you got to keep afloat.
A few things. One is creative outlets. A lot of I call them negative feelings, sadness, anger, anxiety, stress, all that. I pour into the creative side of things. That's how I create a lot of my best pieces. Because it's like, for me, it's a 3-step process. I feel the emotion. I live with the emotion. And then I don't know if it's angry, but then I get mad that I experience it. And then that anger, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's really anger. I think it's fuel. It's some type of vibration that comes about me where it's like, let me show you that I'm not that. And so that's where a lot of my creativity comes from. Whether it's I make beats, and that's for fun. I just actually released my first one today, but I make beats for fun.
Oh no, don't skip over that. What'd you release? What'd you release today?
I released my first beat today.
Hey.
So I got like 100 and something beats, but that's an outlet. Painting, especially on denim jackets, distressing. So the creative outlet helps a lot with the kind of like mental health. Outside of that, family, relationship.
Yeah.
And then meditation. I need to get better at that. I used to meditate way more. Like I just put on binaural beats, like listen to YouTube channels and just listen to binaurals. Or like one of my favorites is the Crystal Lake meditation, which like walks you through a whole like decompress.
Oh shit, you about that guided meditation shit?
Oh yeah, bro. I got crystals at home. I got a crystal on my neck.
Hey. Well, this next bit, so I gotta get the notepad for this one. Well, I'm perceptive, and my thing is,
You ain't used the notepad the whole time.
let's just say, I gotta make sure I get this right. Now, I gotta alter some of these things.
Alter whatever you want, because you ain't gonna get none of them answers.
Yo, I want to make sure you have a safe drive home. That's all I want to make sure, because how do I get these acronyms? So it seems like I got my glasses. You're a part of the FBC, Faithful Black Community, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you a faithful black man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you meant. Like the faithful black. I thought it was like faithful to black lives, or
No, faithful to faithful black men community.
You should have just said relationships. I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm committed to the community. What you mean?
with that BMDC, black men don't cheat, right?
Yeah. Now, see, you should have said that. You can't say faithful black community.
You're part of the faithful black community.
I was born for that. All right.
Now, update. Sorry, Carl's gonna put you out there again. Single, right?
Yeah.
I'm single. We kind of have like passes. Like we come to the groups that you live in because you elf in the room. We gotta ask somebody, right? So how is it? Because the narrative so much now. Obviously, I ain't about to drag our people in the mud. Blah blah blah. Everybody cheat. Blah blah blah. But black men, we really don't cheat. So on the own basis, I'm just curious. I really have to change these questions.
I'll answer.
This was a new development in the story today. I had new questions. When it comes to, let's just say, all right.
Say it. I'm not tripping.
All right.
I'll answer.
Okay. So before you became a faithful black man, right?
Before I was in a relationship.
Before your relationship, has there ever been a time where you've been a dog?
Yeah.
Would you like to speak on that time of being?
So I mean, I'm not gonna say dog. I'm going to say that I personally, this is not speaking for my girlfriend currently. I personally don't. Again, I'm not trying to come at females, but I don't have faith in a lot of the females in, I guess, this city.
Is this a safe space?
I've been through things where I don't address them. I allow females to do it. Go ahead, do what you want to do. But I won't call them out on they bullshit. Mm-hmm. I've been too focused on the mission at hand. So for the last like 5 or 6 years, I've been single to like the T, where it's like I'm not going to allow the bullshit to bother me. I'm not going to allow the lies to kind of cloud my judgment. It's more so if I honestly feel that I can trust you, then I will move forward. But a lot, and I say a lot, of females will hide things, and until they come to the light, it does not become an issue. Simultaneously, they will say things and twist stories about you. I've had it done to me multiple times. I've had my name dragged through the mud multiple times. but I never address those things because I'm too focused on the mission at hand. So I do not personally think that all men are. There are men who are straight up just dog, period.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know a lot of my friends who will tell a female exactly what the situation is, exactly what we are doing. And again, it twists the story, or they will twist the story, or simultaneously they will do something to you that they don't want done to them, and again portray it as if you caused that to happen. So I do not believe in like all men or black men or whatever are dogs, but I think it's more of a misconception.
I promise you all, we did not have a conversation about this. This is like the narrative I'm trying to push, because I'm trying to break down and have like a level playing field when it comes to, men lie, women lie, we all do these things.
Period.
And like there are stereotypes that, when women walk down the street, there's other shit happens, especially, black women, all the intersectionality. But if we don't open up our ears and listen, or if our motto is, if we have any female on the podcast or anyone else, we listen to them, we set the table, and we hear what they're saying. We finish that up, and then we were like, this is our experience on our side, because we don't get to hear the stories like this, where it's kind of like, yo, I was transparent. I told you everything, and you still trying to run these games. And like, not to bring up Will and Jada, Future. This will be
that's
August.
the biggest example of how it really goes down. I mean, not to call anyone out specifically, but I've personally had a situation where it was like, oh, I know you're doing X, Y, and Z, all because of tweet. The tweet was the name of a song that me and my artist was working on in the studio. The song was Happy Hour. I'm not calling names. But because that tweet was sent and it said Happy Hour, after I said, yo, I'm at the studio, it blew up into, now I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to you because I think you're doing X, Y, and Z. There's no communication. You could have easily texted me, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. But now assumptions are made, and now actions are taken. And now I deal with the repercussions. But again, I don't care to go out my way to call you out. Like, I just don't care. Like, you're a child to me, if that's the case. Like, if you really allow certain shit to bother you that's not real, I don't care to correct that. Like, that's just not,
right.
Like, I'm too busy for corrections. Either grow up or don't. So I think, again, a lot of things are just miscommunications and a lot of twisted plots. I'm not saying all females are like that, but a lot of females are able to twist the plot, just like, again, not calling out Jada and Will, but allow a man to be like, yo, I'm dating this 23-year-old, or however old August is, whatever the case may be.
You mean
28, I think.
Anyway, let me date someone half my age. Call it an entanglement.
Entanglement?
I'm in an entanglement. I'm trying to find my healing. That man is drugged to the mud, period, point blank. Period, point blank. As soon as that comes out, he's a pedophile, he's this, he's that, he's that, he's that, he's that. But let a female tell the story, and it's, oh, she was trying to heal herself. Dude, we need to support her. You cannot shame her. So me personally, as a man, that's why I don't really fall victim to me, it's just talk and gossip. I don't fall victim to the clouded, like, this is this picture. I don't care about your picture. Like, I know what I'm doing, and I know that's not true. So society can fall victim to the stories, but me personally, I'm not into the bullshit.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this headstrong, faithful black man? He ain't for the bullshit. He like, you know what? We arguing. Let's sit down, have a conversation.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell
So in this time, I had a plethora of time to alter these questions that I had for you. So I know you're a fashion guy. So would your girl say that you are annoying when it comes to, or do you critique her outfits when you guys are out? You be like, girl, I don't know.
Nah, never.
Not even
My
your
motto
head.
for my brand is be you.
All right.
So, like, one of my biggest things is life is a perception. So I personally like someone who has their own, like, pizzazz, I don't know, style, whatever. Like, I don't want you to be a certain doll. Like, I can get dolls. Like, I want you to be you, so I know who you are. Like, I don't need dolls in my collection. I don't know.
What about her style do you like the most?
Hers?
Yeah. She got you. So of course you.
No, two things. One, I'm gonna put her on blast a little bit. But
we ain't gotta say no names.
The
no
first
names.
time she met me, she was not dressed to impress. And to her, she thinks that's like a bad thing, but to me, it's like you were yourself. Like you're not trying to impress me. I have people who try to impress me all the time. I don't need to be impressed. I need you to be yourself.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I like about her style is that she wears what she wants to wear. She doesn't wear shit to try to like, I'm going to wear this because I know he likes this. I'm going to wear my outfit because this is my outfit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So me personally, I like that she has her own style and that she doesn't just look like every other Instagram female on the planet. Like there's thousands of those.
All right.
Exactly.
See, I feel like he's reading my notes because I was gonna ask him like some free game for like heterosexual females to know about like heterosexual dudes, right? And that's the free game. Like I think, and Cas will definitely chime in if you believe in this as well. Where like I think women underestimate when you're yourself. And like, granted, I know you got to do all those different things, but we peep that where you're like, oh, this is definitely a facade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you like love and hip hop, but you also like. I don't know. What's something like?
I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. I don't know.
Is that a show?
That's a show.
Atlanta, yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of something a girl.
I don't watch TV. I'm sorry. Don't ask me.
She'd be like, I watch YouTube tutorials about people eating food, and I like the little crunchy sound. Like you'd be like, all right, bet. Okay, I wouldn't watch that, but all right, babe.
Like I do my own thing. I don't really listen to people.
See, all right.
There you go.
I don't like listening to people.
He's too original, man.
I'm the most like I don't like authority. I don't like none of that. Don't tell me what to do.
Bro, he coming straight out of a comic book, yo. He's knocking this out of the park. I said softball questions. I had enough time to audible and just be. I'm not being problematic. I just want real fucking answers because like I'm trying to do the opposite of like Jada because Jada to me now is like Future. They're both on a different.
Honestly, that whole situation is trash. I really like that's one of the reasons why I was afraid to get into a relationship because I know what I can bring to the table, and it's just like I'm not trying to spend 5 years and then you on some I need some help shit. Like, don't even approach me then. If you ain't figured out that I'm the one, then skedaddle.
Sheesh.
The worst part about the whole Will Jada thing is just that like the kids are involved now too.
That's what I'm saying. It's trash, bro.
Like his son that's his friend, and then Willow's writing messages to Tupac.
Like,
you're not my dad.
Yeah. Like poor Will, dude. What did he do?
Like
make a couple bad movies now.
In my opinion, he's a great guy, but I don't know. Imagine that. Anyway,
the aftermath of I don't know where these cameras are, but I'm getting the sense that they gonna start beeping, and we gonna lose all this great shit. But I personally and Cas, I want to let you have your own stay twos. Before I ended and shit. I just want to say thanks for hopping on. What do you call it? We got 14 subscribers. So
that's a lot.
So my logic is nobody really paying attention to what we saying anyway. So
say whatever you want.
So we can say shit and we'll delete it. So I want to say thank you, Cas. You got any ending thoughts for our man?
Thank you, and honestly, thank you for produce. I'm a fan of streetwear. I like that community, and you guys bring a lot of variety into this Portland scene that was missing. Like, let's be honest, Portland's pretty ass when it comes to this stuff.
When it comes to this, trust me, that's why produce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So honestly, just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
You'll be just fine.
Thank you. 'Cause I know it's here, but it's not here.
Yeah.
See, Cas? Well, this has been the Play No Games podcast.
Podcast show.
Thank you, because we're more than a podcast. We're a culture. We're a movement. Truly, we are. We're really, really glad. And man, as one black man to the next, keep doing your shit.
Thank you, fam.
Yeah. All right, this has been the Casanova, Mr. Steal Your Girl, Keep Your Girl, Bob Gill.
And Cas.
Come on. Actually, you say some controversial shit.
You said Bob, I was like, ain't your name Robert?
Yes.
I'm like,
I used to hate
Bob.
that name growing up.
Oh,
Bob
was cool, though.
It grew on me.
I know.
Anywho. All right, we're done.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Get it though. You probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.